In this world, there are a few individuals who feel the need to take things to their absolute limits. These individuals now set their sights on Scion, and for good reason. Welcome. You're watching Driven to Excel. We're behind the scenes with Scion in competition. Frederick Aasbo, one of the friendliest drivers in Formula Drift and great spokesman of sports, Frederick really enjoys driving. Off track, we find him signing autographs, stopping for photos, and greeting his fans. On the track is an entirely different story. Known as the Norwegian Hammer, Frederick Aasbo displays a no-nonsense, direct approach to drift. His smooth style and consistency sets him apart from most drivers. In fact, lands him in the top 10 on a regular basis. At the wheel for the 2013 hand-cooked tire, Scion Racing with the Scion TC. Let's meet Frederick Aasbo.
So I grew up on a snowy mountain pass back in Norway, deep inside the forest. And my dad was into grassroots rallying. I got the bug when I was probably 5 years old, went to the rallycross track, and since then it's been all cars. So I got a couple of beater cars, going up and down that mountain road. I got to race go-karts for a little while. A lot of RC cars, raced on the lakes, and got my drifting debut in '07. And 5 years later, I was battling my, idol, Katsuhiro Ueno in Long Beach. Once I came here, I got deemed the Norwegian Hammer, and I guess that's a play on words and history and legacy and everything, but also it reflects my style a little bit, because I was never the most precise. But I was pretty raw and I was pretty committed, and when I dropped the hammer, I was staying in it. So being more of like an aggressive, wild driver more than a fully refined driver, I kind of earned that nickname, and I've tried to work towards keeping that aggressiveness as I've become more and more competitive. I do this because I love it, right? And being out there in the car, on the track, having my 20 seconds, it feels like I'm being set free. And like you said, I pride myself in trying to be a good guy, but on track I try and take no hostages. We're here to do well, we're here to be competitive, go fast, be rowdy, and I try to let that shine through. So Scion's all about individualism and taking a car out of the dealership and making it your own. And I think that's why they're in drifting, that's why they're having teams like us modify the cars to our own personal taste and liking. So we took the TC, which is a front-wheel drive car that a guy like me would drive to and from, school or work or whatever. It's a perfect daily driver. But we turned it into I want to say a pretty crazy contraption. I spent a lot of time in California and in South Bay, which is Scion's home grounds. There's a ton of Scion out there, obviously a lot of Toyota. So I try and make my way to all the meets. I drive an FRS out there, try and stay in touch. And I made a lot of friends in the Scion community. And it's always a blast seeing them, because you have everything from XBs to IQs to FRSs. And it's a pretty wild circus, seeing all the individualism between all the Scion owners. This TC, the 2014 hand-cooked tire Scion Racing TC, started its life as a bone stock 2011 Scion TC. Now it has a 2014 front. It has a stock motor still, but it's shifted 90 degrees, so it's now longitudinal. We have a NASCAR TRD drivetrain, we have a Supra rear end, a lot of Supra parts, and I want to say 90% of the parts are still factory Toyota or Scion. It pushes about 800 horsepower to the wheel. We have nitrous for bottom end spool, a big BorgWarner EFR turbo, sticky Hankook tires, and it's actually one of the fastest cars out there. And you know, not bad for a car that started its life as something completely different. I think in terms of making the Scion brand even cooler and even more sporty, what I would like to see is a broader TRD offering. You know, more suspension kits, maybe more supercharger kits, more maybe even drift parts that you can buy off the shelf to turn it into, you know, a Sunday track day racer. So a TRD offering for sure, and maybe, you know, how us as, you know, teams work closer with the brand, help getting the parts out there and blend even closer with the brand. Well, for a guy like me, coming from the other side of the world, making it in the US, being trusted by all the sponsors that I have, it feels huge. And I just want to say thank you to each and every one of those, specifically Hankook Tire and Scion Racing, you know, all the guys at Papadakis Racing for putting up with all my rowdiness on track, and everybody else that's been supporting us. Whole stunt. So that's our Norwegian saying. It means never lift and never give up. So tusen takk skal dere ha. Jeg er veldig, veldig glad i dere.
Our thanks go out to Fredrik Aasbo and the entire Hankook Tire Scion Racing team. This has been Driven to Excel, produced by MPS/HD, sponsored by STP, supplying logistics support, travel, and accommodations.